So today we're going to learn about scatter plots. So a scatter plot shows the relationship between two real-world quantities on a coordinate plane. And so the examples to left and right are scatter plots. So a line of best fit is the line that best fits a data set. So that's the line on the right-hand side. And a curve of best fit is a curve that best fits. So that would be the example on the left-hand side. So we're going to do an example, and we mostly are going to use our calculator and use the calculator directions in the dotted box. So using your calculator, create a scatter plot and find the equation of best fit and make a prediction. So to create a scatter plot is in that first dotted box. So you take your calculator and you hit stat, which is right underneath the delete button, 1. And then you enter the table in. So in this case, I'm going to put fat into L1 and the calories in L2. So to get to the next one, you hit enter. If you mess up, you just hit delete, and that'll delete just the number in the space. To get to the second column, you just hit the right arrow. Just be very careful when you put these in, because if you miss one or you mess up a number, it messes up the entire thing. So I usually like to just double check it, because it saves you a lot of hassle in the end if you messed up. Okay, so after that's all in, you would do step 2, which is go to y equals. You can clear out anything that's in there and go up to where it says plot 1 and hit enter. So that should be highlighted. Then what you do is you hit graph, and a lot of times you won't be able to see anything because the numbers are so big. So what you do is, number 6 is hit zoom 9. And there is our scatter plot. So that, I believe, looks like a line. And so to write a line of best fit, you hit stat, you go over to calc, so hit the right arrow once, and then depending what type of scatter plot it is, you choose the number and then hit enter. So if it is a line, you press 4, so line reg. If it is a U, a quadratic, you hit 5. And if it's a half U or exponential, you hit 0. So we're going to write that down. So if it is a line, you press 4. If it is a U, a quadratic, you press 5. And if it's a half a U, an exponential, you press 0. So in this case, I said that it looked like a line, and sometimes the problem will even tell you that this is a line or a quadratic. So I press 4. It's going to give you this list, and you go down to where it says calculate, and you hit enter. So what it gives you is y equals ax plus b. That's like the template, and then it gives you the a and the b. Now you cannot round any of these, unfortunately, and so you're just going to have to write out all of the things. So we're going to write y equals, and then you're going to fill in the a, so 11.89992126, x plus, and then the b. So that's the equation. So y equals, and it was 11.89992126x plus 191.593708. So we create a scatter plot, we found the equation of best fit. Now we have to predict how many calories would be in something if there were 40 grams of fat. So 40 grams of fat, total fat, would go in this column. And so that is in the x column. And so what we're doing is finding y. So we're going to take that 40 and we're going to plug it in for the x right there. So I'm just going to take my calculator and I'm going to plug in. So 11.899, and then I'm going to fill in the 40 plus 191.5, and I get 667. You can round the prediction. So 667.6. Okay. So this is useful because a lot of people use this to make predictions, but it's not always perfect because, like an avocado, that has not as many calories but has a lot of fat, and so that wouldn't fall in the exact linear pattern, but most things follow a trend. So for the next one, what is the equation of best fit? So I'm going to go and I'm going to put this into my calculator. Since this is a horizontal table, just the first row will be the x value, or L1, and the second row will be L2. So to clear an entire column, you go to the top of the column and hit clear, not delete. Hit clear and then hit the down, and it clears the whole thing. So now I'm going to put in all of my numbers. And then I go to the top of this one. And I hit clear, down, and I put in my second one. Okay, my plots should already be on because I turned them on the last example, so I hit zoom 9. That, I would say, it's not a line, it's not in full U, it is a half of U. So that means I'm going to hit stat and go over to calc. I'm going to press 0 because it was a half of U. I'm going to go down to calculate, hit enter, and there is my equation. So again, I cannot round it, so I need to write out all of those decimal places. If you notice, the template is different. It's y equals a times b raised to the x power. So when I write it out, I do y equals, and my a was 194.0926398, and the template was then times, and then the b, so 0.6106380631, and it was raised to the x power. So it says what the prediction if there was 10 balances. So balance number is this column. So I'm going to take 10 and I'm going to plug it in for the x using my calculator. So I do 194.0926398 times, and then I write out the b, and then I raise it to the 10th power. And I get 1.399. I can round it to 1.4. All right, the last one, this is a graph this time. So what you would want to do is I would make yourself a table off to the side, and you're going to put each of these order pairs in. So that order pair is 1, 2, and then put in this order pair, 2, 4. That one is 3, 5, 4, 6, 5, 8, 6, 7, 7, 10, 8, 11, and 9, 12. So then after you have that, you can go and put it into your calculator. All right, so I go to my calculator, and I had already put it in. Notice that I had made a mistake. It was 6, 9, not 6, 7. So I went over and checked my work, and I found that. So then I hit zoom 9, and that should look just like the graph on your thing. So now I hit stat, go over to calc, and this is a line, so 4. I go down to calculate, and I get that. So y equals 1.23 x plus 1.2777. So a bunch of 7s and a bunch of 3s. If they start repeating, then it doesn't really matter how many, just put a lot. So it says there are 14 typos. So typos is on the y-axis right here. So I'm trying to figure out if I put 14 into the y column, what would it be? So this one I need to put on paper. So I'm putting 14 as my y, and I need to solve for x. So I'm going to subtract that over, and I would get 12.7. And then I have to divide over the 1.2. And after I divide over the 1.23, I would get my x value equaling 10.3. And that's our final answer.